My name is June. I am a first-generation immigrant who came to Australia over 20 years ago. I'm so proud to call Australia a home. I arranged my son to immigrate to Australia when he was about 10 years old. During 8 years period until he turned 18, we did not receive a cent child support from his father, Dr. Zen. My ex was an orthopedic doctor and surgeon in Guangzhou, China, one of the highest earning positions. I heard he bought multiple apartments in Guangzhou during these 8 years. The apartments in Guangzhou cost as much or even more than the houses here. If he were in any Western country, the government would have taken him to court to order him to pay for compulsory child support. However, he resided in China. There was no cross-cooperation between the two countries. So he got away with it and didn't have to pay any child support. When I first arrived in Australia, I had no job and was doing my PhD studies for 6 years. I struggled with my life. As a new immigrant, I barely spoke English. These are some notes I took down to improve my English. I made notes, translate them, then practice over and over. It took me a decade to reach the level where I can communicate fluently in English. Additionally, as a single mother, raising my son alone in a new country was not easy. I had to juggle my studies and life. I have been single ever since the divorce in China. I was in an abusive marriage with my ex for almost 10 years. He was abusing me financially all those years in our marriage. As an orthopedic surgeon, he was in a very creative industry, replantation of severed fingers. He made heaps more money than me. I never get a cent of his money. As a university lecturer, I only make basic salary. We did not have any operational surgeries, and I had to give my salary to him every month. Later, he turned violent. When I was 7 months pregnant, one night, he lost all his money from gambling, and he lost his mind. He came home trying to get more money, then go back to gambling. I was trying to stop him. He hit me brutally with a metal-framed leather chair. So much blood flowing down from my head to my clothes all the way down to the floor. I ended up with multiple stitches on my head in the hospital to stop the bleeding. In the end, he divorced me. Their divorce agreement was appalling. He took our apartment, kicked me out after 2 years, and dumped my son. I survived, however. My violent, abusive marriage left a permanent scar on my soul. I'm still not recovered from it. Please check out my upcoming video of my abusive marriage. My son also had a difficult time. He didn't have his own bicycle or computer. He was riding my bicycle, which was a woman's bicycle. His friends always laughed at him. We had to share a computer too. It's old and a very slow computer. He always got frustrated. I didn't have money to pay for his school camps. He's always among those students who left at the school while most of the students were out at the camps. Since he was 12, he had to work on eBay after school to make some pocket money. My ex never asked if his son ever needed anything at all. I contacted him directly and indirectly. He refused to send $1 through. What a heartless, irresponsible person. Because my ex refused to send any child support. The Australian government had to pay lots of money to support my son during those 8 years. My ex owes the Australian government lots of money. Legally, some of his houses could belong to the Australian government. I believe mine is not a single case. Some people could take advantage of the system and get the dual child support from the parents overseas as well as the Australian government. They could rip off both governments of the two countries. There is a loophole in the system. This could happen to people from other countries apart from China. I was in shock to know that my ex, Dr. Zheng Long, was even allowed to come to Australia for sightseeing without my knowledge. I wonder if the government has any measures to record those scammers' profiles. They should be kept out of the country unless they pay back the owed money. Dear viewers, I sincerely hope you could join me, sign the petition to the government here in the comments. Stop those scammers from ripping off the government and kick them out of the country permanently. I thank you very much for your time and support.